Paramahamsa Nithyananda, a rare living incarnation, is named among the world's 100 most spiritually influential personalities today. Paramahamsa Nithyananda has been placed alongside Dalai Lama, Nelson Mandela, Oprah Winfrey, Paulo Coelho and others by Mind, Body, Spirit, the world's top esoteric magazine from Watkins, London's oldest and largest bookstore. A yogi by birth, he has been expressing his power of enlightenment since birth. He has authored more than 500 books in Tamil and English. Translations of these books are available in 26 languages in Telugu, Kannada, Malayalam, Hindi, Sanskrit, Gujarati, Oriya, Bengali, Marathi, French, Malay, Polish, Portuguese, Italian, German, Danish, Spanish, Russian and Chinese. He is also an exemplary speaker with over 10,000 hours of profound life solutions through his discourses. Social services such as Annadan, free medical care, free educational services with ashrams, schools, temples, hospitals established in more than 140 places around the world, offering exceptional services. A powerful spiritual healer who has healed millions of people of diseases from migraine to cancer. A Kriya Yogi who has formulated Kriyas for physical health and mental well-being, benefiting thousands. A living master who offers practical solutions for our everyday problems. He is the founder and spiritual head of Nithyananda Dhyanapeetham, a spiritual powerhouse who has revived the sacred Vedic tradition by establishing Vedic temples in places like Los Angeles, San Jose, Seattle, Toronto, Ohio, Oklahoma, Phoenix, St. Louis, Malaysia, Brazil, Paris, Guadeloupe, Dallas, New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Calgary, Vancouver, Singapore, and places in India like Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Tiruvannamalai. A spiritual guru for 10 million followers, an incarnation who transmits the highest spiritual energy through initiation, a contemporary yogi who has revived the Vedic science of yoga worldwide through thousands of yoga centers, an adept in Ashtamahasiddhis, mystical yogic powers, who has effortlessly awakened the Kundalini of thousands and graced them with spiritual powers, a dynamic young guru who is an inspiration for thousands of youngsters, India's most watched spiritual guru online, a beacon of spiritual light who has triumphed over the forces of religious terrorism and political persecution. Paramahamsa Nithyananda is an eternal Kalpataru, blessing the world with the boons of material abundance and spiritual enlightenment. He is the 293rd Pontiff of the world's most ancient Hindu organization, Madurai Adinam.
Nithyanandaya swagatam Anandanubhavaswadam Sarvaroga nivarakam Vande papa vinashaktam Nithyanandaya swagatam Nityamuktam nirvikalpam Dhyanaloka pradipakam Vande shantamayam bandham Nithyanandaya swagatam Anandagandha sancharam Sarvabhadhi vinirmuktam.
This whole Himalayas is Upanishad. Just be. Is constantly radiating. This one message, just be. Upanishad means sitting with the master. Himalayas is the ultimate master. catch this thread of just be. See, if something excites you again and again and again, that is the path for your enlightenment. So make sure just being, the Upanishad, excites you again and again and again. That is your sadhana. Upanishad, just sitting. You can't talk too much about silence. You can only live. You can't say too much about Upanishad. You can only be. So take this as today's message. Just be. Upanishad. Be with these Himalayas. Be with this Ganga. Be with the Master. You have Murti, Tirtha, Sthala. All the three. Ganga is Tirtha. Sthala is Himalayas. Murti is Master. You have all the three. Experience enlightenment. Achieve and radiate the eternal bliss. Nithyananda. Thank you.
Yesterday I was given a question from a satsang center. The question is, basically a devotee is asking, do you initiate only the people who are sitting live with you, directly watching the satsang, or people like us who can't watch directly, who can watch only through the YouTube, the recorded discourse later on? Do you initiate us also, who watch the discourses later on, through the YouTube, through the recording? I wanted them to know, please understand, the initiation happens whenever you melt down with a deep trust and feeling connection with the Master. When you melt down with a trust and deep connection, you are sitting live with me. You are coming alive with me, I am coming alive with you. Please understand. Here I am making an important statement. A sincere seeker, a sincere disciple, when he sits with a deep, melting, relaxed mood with the master, not only master comes alive with the disciple, disciple also comes alive with the master. Please understand. Not only disciple feels fulfilled, master also feels fulfilled. When a sincere seeker melts down in the deep trust and relaxes, the transmission of the lamp happens automatically. If you are sitting with a deep trust and a relaxed mood, understand, I am alive with you, you are alive with me. When a sincere seeker sits around me, not only he is fulfilled, I am also fulfilled. My mission is getting fulfilled. A sincere seeker, when you sit around me, I don't even expect you to do puja to me or meditate or do any rituals. Just if you sit around me, not only you are fulfilled, you are feeling the fulfillment, I am also feeling the fulfillment. When a sincere seekers come and sit with me, I am also happy. A sincere seeker deeply fulfills a master. When you melt down and sit with a deep trust, the connection happens, the initiation happens, the transmission of lamp happens. But one thing, if you have the habit of coming and sitting in the morning satsang, not only the initiation will happen, you will practice these techniques systematically, and the next evolving will be more easy. See, there are so many instructions and understandings which I add continuously every day. If you are watching the recorded discourse on YouTube, you will not be watching in proper time. Today's session you may watch tomorrow, and yesterday's session you may watch day after tomorrow. The timing may not be proper, so only those difficulties should be avoided. If you are watching the recorded discourse on YouTube, decide every day you will sit only at particular time, watch only the last day, yesterday's discourse, that's it. So have that habit of maintaining that continuity. Don't change the dates and time of the discourses. If you have the continuity, you will have the same effect of watching the live NTV. When a sincere seeker sits with the master, thousands of things happen in their system. Upanishad completely awakens your inner being, the inner self. Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, 160th Sutra, in 3rd chapter, 10th verse, subject is Upanishad. Sutra is Tasya Prashanta Vahita Sanskarat. Tasya Prashanta Vahita Sanskarat. I wanted to translate the sutra and express my experience. Please understand. Till the last sutra, Patanjali was talking on Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi, Samyama. And he was teaching us how to be in a space between thoughts. Nirodha Parinama. The thoughtless space. Now he is teaching how to establish yourself in that thoughtless space. Yesterday I spoke how to experience thoughtless space. When you sit with a deep trust with the Master and listen to him, listen from him, there is gap between thoughts and you are something beyond thoughts. That relaxed sitting, Upanishad, a deep sitting with a receptive mood and a deep trust and feeling connection, gives you the experience of Nirodha Parinama, the space between thoughts. Experience between thoughts. Now I am saying, sitting again and again with Master in deep trust makes you established in that space. Please understand. Sitting again and again in a deep trust, with a deep feeling connection, in the restful awareness with the Master, establishes you in the thoughtless space, cloudless sky. Somebody has asked me, there's one more question. What is it that is really working for the seeker? Is it self-effort or Guru's grace? This is one of the important problems seekers face in their life. Is it Guru's grace or self-effort? If it is self-effort, why do we need Guru? If it is Guru's grace, why should we do any self-effort? I am solving this paradox, this problem once for all. Understand, you need to have self-effort to be in Guru's grace. You need to have Guru's grace to have self-effort. Both are not contradictory. When you catch Guru's grace, put your self-effort to be in that grace. Avoid all the negative talks, negativity about the Master and you. When you have the Guru's grace, take the inspiration from him and start the self-effort. When you have the self-effort, put the effort to be in Guru's grace. When you have Guru's grace, use that grace to create self-effort. You need to have self-effort to sit in Guru's grace, to be soaked in Guru's grace every day. The last sutra, Patanjali says, how to experience Nirodha Parinama. Means the dimension of thoughtless space. A beautiful word, Nirodha Parinama. The dimension of you in which you are thoughtless. The space in which you are thoughtless. How to experience that? Experience happens when you sit in a deep trust with the Master. In this sutra, today Patanjali is explaining how to retain that state, that space of Nirodha Parinama. Soak yourself in that space again and again and again. Try to sit in that space of deep, restful awareness, deep feeling connection with a deep trust, again and again and again, as much as you can. Let your whole body be soaked into that pure experience, pure space. Sit as much as possible, as many times as possible, in unclutched mood, receptive mood in Master's presence. Second, if you are not able to sit in the Master's presence, even if there are 7 people who are experiencing Kundalini experience, the levitation, if you sit at least with that group, where at least 7 people are levitating, that group itself will have the collective consciousness, the Master's presence. Please understand. If 7 people are experiencing Kundalini experience, levitation in your satsang center, be very clear, you have my presence completely. Because usually, if 7 people are experiencing that levitation, all different energies related to 7 chakras are active in that space. So today, this sutra, Tasya Prashanta Vahida Samskarat, Tasya Prasanta Vahita Samskarat, this space Nirodha Parinama becomes eternal in you when you become steady and soaked in the same Master's presence where the thoughtless space is happening again and again. Just like if you put the cotton into the honey bowl and leave it, how the cotton gets completely soaked in honey, almost becomes one. Same way, put yourself in the Master's presence. Soak yourself in the Master's presence. And soaking yourself in the Master's presence will automatically, naturally make yourself established in Nirodha Parinama. No mind state, no mind space. Guru's grace and self-effort is not paradox. Sit in the restful awareness, unclutched mood, the deep trust and feeling connection with the Master in Upanishad, as much as possible, as long as possible, as many times as possible. I can give you one more tip. Every night before falling asleep, at least listen 10 minutes to some of my discourse. In a deep, restful awareness, in a relaxed way, listen and just fall asleep. You will see, whole night you are not just in ordinary sleeping mood, you are in Upanishad. Whole night you will be in Upanishad. In the highly elevated consciousness. Sit again and again and again in the deep, restful awareness, feeling connected to the Master. This will not only make you experience Nirodha Parinama, it will settle the Nirodha Parinama in your system. Your system will be established in thoughtless space. Incarnation is a huge river, but during the rainy season itself, make a small canal and make a tank inside your own land. Make a canal and make a tank inside your land, so that for some reason the river dries up or you are not able to access the river, you have water source. Of course, I am going to be in the body for a long time. That is true. But who knows, you are going to be in the body and around me. So the moment you have the connection, you have the time, opportunity, establish yourself. That is the reason I insist on this morning sadhana. Creating intense yogic body, an intense Vedic mind. Even if you are not there tomorrow here, you should not feel that you lost one day. The best thing you can achieve in one day, you achieve it by the morning sadhana. So your accounts is clear. No, I have not lost anything. So imbibe, fill yourself with that energy through the practice, so you don't feel you lost time, you wasted time, even if you are not around me. It's a very important problem Patanjali is analyzing. Very important problem. Then Bhagavatakara very beautifully says, it's true what Bhagavatakara says. See the Yadava community. The Abhayam, Sharanam, Aishwaryam, in that three they are lost. But the moment Krishna left the body, they are not able to tolerate themselves and their life. And practically, they killed each other so that the others won't suffer. You see, the killing did not happen out of enmity. It's almost like a mercy killing. You kill me, I kill you, let us die. It is like a mass suicide. That's what exactly happened. A mass suicide. Because without the master's physical presence, they do not know what to do. His physical presence is so enchanting and charismatic. Any depression, just get 2 minutes around him, it disappears. Because of that, you take depression very lightly. And you are not centering yourself so that you can live handling all these possible distractions and depressions in future. Understand? This is the only thing which can go wrong around the master. Let that not happen in your life. Save yourself. Let you not be the person to experience that wrong in your life. The only way is practice. Morning 5, whatever it may be there in the Akada for yoga. And bend your body, twist your body, prepare it for the Kundalini Awakening. Then, sitting in the presence and receiving this intense bliss dose for the day. This should become part of the life for all the people, all our devotees and disciples around the world. One session a day, one sadhana session a day. One sadhana session means morning. Of course, if not in the morning, for other countries, in the evening. Because many country people are saying that they are able to watch live in the evening. So keep evening. The heavy yoga to create yogic body and Pratyaksha Pada Puja. Sit in a complete unclutched, feeling connected way. Unclutched from what is outer world, feeling connected with what is inner. Sit. That is what I can say as Upanishad, the ultimate sitting. Just unclutching or just feeling connected is only two different parts. Unclutching from the unnecessary things, feeling connected to the highest possibility. This is what I call Upanishad. Upanishad is more deeper than Zazen. In Zazen, you sit unclutched. In Upanishad, you melt also with the feeling connection. Right listening means the sounds which leads you from sound to silence. The right listening can happen when you are ready to listen with anything. Chirping of the bird can lead you to enlightenment. Sound of bamboo can be the Upanishad mantras. The sound of Ganges can be the Anagata Dvani. With right listening, everything that echoes in your system, everything that reverberates in your inner space leads you to silence. Of course, the possibility for right listening, the happening of right listening happens more in the presence of a living master, an incarnation, who himself has experienced the Anahata Dvani, the sound which is uncreated in his inner space. The Master's words come from a frequency where what you are seeing as the world is too small. What you see as the world is illusion in my space. So anything comes from my space and reaches your inner space lead you to the same experience of my space. So any word which comes from this inner space and enters your inner space leads you to the same experience of my inner space. Means this is smaller reality than the sounds created. Sit with this science of right listening. The process of science of right listening. It is enlightenment. I don't want to say it will lead you to enlightenment. It is enlightenment. What Upanishads calls as Shravana, what Buddha calls as Sammati, what J. Krishnamurti calls as right listening is God. I am giving you this process to make all the three as experience into you. My unique contribution to the spiritual tradition is creating processes, sharing the processes with the world to make every truth into experience, reality. So, I'll add my part to the Shravana, Sammati, right listening. This part, the science of listening. Sit with your awareness on the third eye, listen through the third eye, and see how the sounds penetrate your system and how it reverberates in your system. What all emotions, experiences, expressions, ripples it creates. And those ripples and emotions and experiences, where it leads you, just see. You will experience right listening, as rightly said by J. Krishnamurti, God Himself. Just yesterday, I was reading an article, Stephen Hawking taking on God. He says, God has not created the world. Very beautifully he describes. It's a spontaneous happening. Amazing way is described. And all of you may be aware of Stephen Hawking, who wrote Brief History of Time. If I'm asked, I'll keep the book in the standard of Nyaya Sutras and Vaiseshika Sutras. After the Ganana and Gautama, nobody is able to penetrate to the depth of the truths of time like Stephen Hawking. Even yesterday what he revealed, this is the word I want to use, not what he wrote, revealed. Because I feel he is Rishi. He should be kept in the category of Rishi. If he was in India, we would have worshipped him as a Rishi and respected him as a Rishi. What he revealed, no Vedic master will oppose. Because the clarity on what is God, even if he does not agree with our clarity, we will have patience. Can you spend a little more time with us explaining? Can you elaborate to make our logic catch up with you? You'll be surprised, in the whole Vedic tradition, we have only something called Prashna Uttara, question and answer. When Buddha comes, ready to take everybody one step further, all the Brahmanas, the Vedic priests, drop their Shrukshrua, Homas, Yajnas, go and sit at the feet of Buddha and evolve. When Shankara comes and ready to take people one step higher than the Buddha, all the Buddhists, they drop everything and go and sit at the feet of Shankara. When Nagarjuna comes from the Buddhist tradition and ready to take everybody one step higher than Shankara, all the Shankarites drop their danda and everything, go and sit at the feet of Nagarjuna. The greatness of Vedic tradition. Ready, always ready to listen, listen, listen. Whoever takes us one step further, ready to surrender, ready to go behind, ready to experiment, the most scientific tradition. Masters of holistic living. An amazing revelation. What he revealed is exactly what Upanishads describe. A spontaneous, independent, intelligent happening. He bases his whole creation on a certain law, which is beyond law. No Vedic master will oppose Stephen, because that is exactly the truth. Maybe Stephen needs one last push to experience that inside him. What has happened in him as a revelation, if it becomes experience, he will write few more things. He can complete all his revelations. He can make a real last statement like Zen masters. I tell you, just a simple understanding there is a gap between your thoughts and this truth, when it is heard in such close space from a person whom you trust and who has no vested interest, something happens in you. I tell you, even at this moment, thousands of you are sitting with me in the closed space. Understand? Closed space does not mean you alone sitting with me. You sitting with me intimately. There is some space between you and me which nobody is allowed, where nobody else is allowed. Those few moments only you cherish with me. That space nobody else has with me. If you are sitting with that feeling, please understand, you are sitting with me alone. Sitting with me alone does not mean there should not be any other person next to you. It means the deepest possible intimacy, the deepest possible feeling connection exists between you and me. You know, even though there are so many people sitting next to me, there is something between me and him which is deeper than anybody else, anything I know. Understand? I'll explain this science because it's a very important science to experience truth, the Upanishad. If you feel the connection with the Master is the deepest connection you experience than any other relationship you experience in your life, you will experience that what I am saying, sitting with the Master all by yourself. You may be sitting with thousands, but you are sitting with me alone, the banks of Manasarovar, or in Kailash. There's no other person. If you have experienced a space, the relationship and the connection with the Master is the deepest than any other relationship you have or had in your life. Understand? You know what I am saying. Now you may be sitting with any number of people, but you know you are sitting with me alone. Because all other relationships become immaterial. They do not hold any more power over you. They do not hold any more space over you. In that mood, any truth transmitted not only will be the honest truth, that will straight away give you the experience. That is why I am telling you, the traditions which misses this great bhakti, love, will always tell you words are ultimate because they cannot take you beyond words. The traditions which understands this Guru-disciple relationship not only will accept, will be able to take you beyond words. Because to take you beyond words, you need to relax in certain space. You need to know, by me teaching this great truth to you, I have nothing to gain and you have nothing to lose. See, when I was sitting with Ram Surat Kumar, if he is going to say, word is ultimate or there is something much more than words, whatever his response will be, I know he has no vested interest. He is going to tell the truth just for my sake. He has nothing to gain, I have nothing to lose. It is only the honesty, the integrity. Krishna says very clearly, knowing the quality of my inner space, let you be liberated, you will be liberated. So knowing the secrets of my superconsciousness is not like knowing my glory. No, you can never know. It is only a method to liberate yourself. Method to liberate yourself. Technique to liberate yourself. Unfortunately, the secrets to superconsciousness can't be revealed much by the words, maybe. It can be revealed through the presence or the Upanishad. Today's subject is awaken your extrasensory powers through super DNA. I'll share few insights about super DNA from the modern day rishis, scientists, and some of the scriptural quotations from ancient rishis. Shastra Pramana means truths revealed by the ancient and modern rishis, the rishis and scientists. And Atma Pramana, my own experience about these revelations, so that it can become Apta Pramana, experience of the masters for you. Here is a discovery from dailygalaxy.com, the website. So many scientists contribute to that website. DNA has been found to have a bizarre activity to put itself together even at a distance, when according to known science it should not be able to. I'll explain how the teleporting, telepathy, all these things are possible. It is just because of this truth. DNA has been found to have bizarre ability to put itself together even at a distance, when according to known science it should not be able to. Science is said to catch up with teleporting and telepathy and all that. Scientists Grezna and France found out that DNA can cause patterns in vacuum, producing magnetic wormholes. Please understand, it's a new word, wormholes. Wormholes are tunnels like connections between areas in universe through which DNA attracts bits of information outside time and space and passes them on to our consciousness. It was noted that this information can be passed on between individuals whose DNA is turned on or activated. Let me add my own experience for this. They say, the scientists are saying that DNA can cause patterns in vacuum, producing magnetic wormholes. That wormholes can attract bits of information outside time and space. Patanjali again and again says, you don't need to learn just from the five senses, means seeing and hearing. I have an example of Vivekananda. Whatever he expressed in 9 years of his public life, even for you to study, it will take 39 years, his lifetime. This proves solidly Vivekananda did not receive all information through eyes and ears. You can take my example. Whatever I expressed in last 8 years, even for you to study and understand, it will take at least 33 years. Forget about experiencing and expressing, just to study. Very clearly you can see, logically you can see very clearly, Objectively you can see, this much of information cannot get into the system through ears and seeing or any other education method within last 33 years, even if I was studying all 33 years, 24 hours. Then how did these informations get into the system and comes out? This is the secret. DNA can create magnetic wormholes which receives bits of information outside time and space. That's what we call consciousness. So till the wormholes are created in your DNA, you need an outside master. Once the wormholes are created in your DNA, you don't need outside master there. Outside Guru sits inside you as Antar Guru and teaches you. He sits inside you and goes on supplying the knowledge. And another one important information, the last punchline. It was noted that this information can be passed on between individuals whose DNA is turned on or activated. Whatever I downloaded through my wormholes and DNA can be transmitted to you without using my words, without you seeing or listening. Just if your DNA is activated or turned on. That is what I call initiation, Upanishad. Only in the beginning, you need to listen to my words. If the DNA gets activated or turned on, no need for words, no need for ordinary way of teaching. Just the transmission, the initiation, energy darshan is enough. That is what I was studying yesterday. It is, initiation is like an intense downloading into you. The knowledge and consciousness and information in this biomemory, in this DNA, is just transmitted. That is why these acharyas, once they are initiated, our trained teachers to go around and take classes, once they are initiated, there are thousands of information they never learnt from my books or heard from me, starts expressing through them. The answers which they would have never heard from me or read from my books suddenly starts expressing. How? This is the science. If your DNA is turned on or activated, these bits of information which gets downloaded through the wormholes created in DNA can just be transmitted without any conventional methods. This is what is happening during every initiation, every process in inner awakening. This is what I am doing in our Vidyalayas, in our Gurukuls. The transmission without using conventional methods is possible, was available, is available in our Vedic tradition. Was available in our Vedic tradition, is available in Nithyananda mission. These are some of the clearest cases. Not only that, when you have energy transmission, diksha, your waking consciousness will be awakened. Means when you morning wake up and see, whole thing should look more deeper. Green should look more greener. Rose should look
look more rosy. Colors should look very deep. Things should appear very pure, as if completely washed, fresh. If you are experiencing the conscious waking, you have received darshan from person who is waking consciousness. If you are experiencing waking consciousness, you receive darshan from person who is in conscious waking state. This understanding about each state will give you the clarity about the master and the path you are traveling. Are you growing? Are you progressing? You will understand that. The next is the conscious dreaming and dreaming consciousness. If you have a meditation in the night, even if you have one or two dreams, you will be just aware that dreams are moving like a clean, conscious light. The dreams are moving like a line, like a picture. How in the screen, the projector, scenes are moving. Like the screen of your consciousness, this will be moving. If you are clear how that moves in your inner space, you are conscious, you are dreaming. That state, if you go through, be very clear. If you are consciously dreaming, you can be sure you receive darshan from a person who is dreaming consciously. If you are consciously dreaming, you receive darshan from a person who is consciously dreaming. Sleeping consciousness, I will explain. Early morning, you will not have awareness, alive, fresh. And this awareness consciousness, just for no reason, you will be sitting in His presence. You will have pure awareness consciously. You know you are in pure awareness. You are in pure awareness. So if you are having the awareness conscious experience, you are in conscious awareness. So this is what I call Upanishad. The experience of Upanishad. Of course, finally the conscious consciousness merging with Him, becoming Him, becoming one. That state has neither definition nor state or entity. That state of conscious consciousness can never be explained. It is just the start. Now, understanding about the states will give you the scale to work with yourself and work with the master. With this scale, measure every day what is happening in you. Then you will be able to very clearly feel which direction you are going. Are you in the right direction? Are you in the right person? Because before starting your work, you need to know, are you in the right direction? Are you in the right person? After that, forget about everything. Just flow with it. Flow with the energy.
Welcome to Inner Awakening, the most powerful personal transformation retreat you could ever experience. In just 21 days, thousands are already experiencing the shortest route to constantly high energy levels, visible anti-aging, healing of chronic diseases, fulfilling relationships, and higher states of consciousness. What is the secret behind this transformation?
Kundalini means the inner potential energy. Once it is awakened, opens the different doors for the conscious experience in you. I can say which is a master key for all extraordinary spiritual experiences.
This extraordinary program is conducted personally by Paramahamsa Nithyananda in the vibrant atmosphere of Nithyananda Dhyanapitham Ashram. Open yourself to the benefits of Nitya Yoga and practical meditation. Experience physical and mental healing. Discover simple ways to handle life with success. Above all, enjoy individual darshan and blessings from Paramahamsa Nithyananda every day. Take 21 days for yourself and carry home the transformation of a lifetime.